Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to Steve Tees Off, brought to you by riversidegolf.ca. Ken Poirier and his team down at Riverside Golf in South Surrey, and online at riversidegolf.ca. Without their support, this podcast would not be possible. And today we welcome Mike Haraguchi, the head professional at Capilano Golf Club. Thank you for coming, Mike.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you. Now we're going to start. It's going to start. Open up with where you were born. You started talking about you're a Richmond boy.
Yes. Born
and bred. Okay. Let's see. And you're a hockey nut.
I am.
Who turns out to be a golfer.
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with Mike growing up in Steveston area in Richmond.
So growing up, started playing hockey when I was 5.
Mm-hmm.
Started playing baseball when I was 5. And then, hockey's probably always been my favorite. Mm-hmm. I love playing hockey. Still do.
More than golf?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I love golf too, but there's just something about being on the ice that's better than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, grew up in Richmond, played hockey, played baseball, and then my dad kind of was a member of Marine Drive,
mm-hmm.
and still is actually, but he would take us out with, I had a little 5-iron that was cut down,
mm-hmm.
and I'd just go kind of whack it with him, and the highlight was for me was he would get a cart and we'd just drive around.
That's pretty cool.
That's kind of how I started playing golf.
So, so when did you start, when did you realize, how old were you when you realized that you not only did you enjoy it, but you were good at it?
I would say 13.
13 years old? Is that when you had is that when you played in your first tournament or?
Yeah, I started playing tournaments kind of when I was 13. I was pretty fortunate. Like at Colchena, we did like a junior tour kind of thing over to the island.
Oh.
So like our kind of junior chairmans would take about 8 of us over in the summertime. So we kind of go over there and play, like Cedar Hill junior
mm-hmm.
tournaments. And so we kind of got access to see what it's like really young, which was great.
Well, tournament golf, I at nauseum, I know I repeat this over and over again. There's the earlier that you can be exposed to tournament golf, the earlier you will find out whether or not it's for you.
Yes.
Right? It's like the initiation of when you talk about boxing. If you put a kid into boxing, the first thing that the trainer wants them to do is taste their own blood in their mouth. Because if you're not good with that, you shouldn't be boxing, because you're going to tournament golf. If you're not good with having other parents around you and others that are wishing you ill will, not hurling insults at you, but they don't want you to win. They're there for their kid.
For sure.
Right? And the whole idea about golf is it is a meritocracy, and there's a scoreboard, there's a scorecard, and you learn a lot about life through that too, because there's, you can cheat, but you're going to get caught cheating soon enough, right?
Pretty much everybody does.
Yeah, everybody does. You can't.
Yeah.
Can't lie your way around the golf course.
No.
Go ahead.
So I think for me, I was pretty fortunate. Like I know you had Matt Daniel on a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And, I grew up playing with Matt, and Matt's one of my very, very good friends. And, by the time he was 12, 13, he was already shooting under par.
Mm-hmm.
I was not. But I wanted to get there.
Uh-huh.
Playing with him was just amazement. Like this kid is so good. So that kind of drove me to work at it and get better and better.
Mm-hmm. So you're playing, you're 12, 13 years old, and you're playing tournament golf, and you're still playing hockey.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're seasonal kind of thing.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And doing all the sports. And you went to high school in Richmond?
Yeah. Went to Hugh Boyd and Stevenson.
Okay. And then when you finish high school, what do you do?
I went down and played golf at College of the Desert.
Okay. And that's in Palm Desert?
Yes.
Okay. And how was that experience for you?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah. I still try to go back every year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And how were those 2 years though? Like were you you're playing tournaments, you're on the golf team there?
Yeah.
How did you fare?
It was really good. So actually Matt and I actually went down together,
mm-hmm.
which was, made it a lot easier for me.
Got a friend. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. So, but we had a pretty strong team. I think we kind of screwed up in regionals where we thought we were going to make it automatically and kind of were goofing around and didn't qualify.
Didn't take it so seriously.
Yeah.
Understand.
And that was a learning curve for sure.
And so you're down there for, for 2 years.
Yep.
And you came back up here?
No, I actually went back down for a few more years
Okay.
to kind of work on my game in the wintertime.
Uh-huh.
And
were you playing mini tours when you were down there? Or were you
not really, more just practicing.
just practicing?
Yeah, and I kind of come up here and play. When I was in college, I caddied a bit.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, mostly just practicing down there.
Okay. So after those 2 years of practicing, what was your plan?
I wasn't sure. So I know, Matt had gone on a Canadian tour.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, that'd be something cool to do. So I just kind of worked hard and played around here, and then I finally qualified for the Canadian tour.
Uh-huh.
So that was
What year was that?
2003.
2003.
Yeah. So I played 2 or 3 events, I want to say in 2001 and 2002, but didn't have any status.
Okay. So you had to, in that regards, that means you had to qualify?
Yes.
So you had to go to the
Q school.
The Q school. And where was that one held?
There's one in Ontario, and there's a spring one in Kamloops.
Okay. And so you have to earn your way to get your Canadian tour card. See, I have a hard time keeping track of, like, it's like the tours. There was a lot of them at one time, and it was the Canadian tour.
Yeah.
And then it was the Mackenzie tour, right? And then it became the PGA Tour of America.
I'm not sure what it's called now, to be honest with you.
Because, it's called the PGA Tour Americas is what it is. But there's only 15 stops, or 15, because they don't have the Canadian tour anymore. They still have a boatload of mini tours down in the States that you're basically, which is organized gambling,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. More or less, yes.
Seeing if you got game.
Have you met any golfers that don't gamble?
No, that's golfing is a gambling game, right? So you come up and you play, you get status on the tour. You play a couple of 3 events.
Yep.
How'd you do in those events?
I missed the cutting in all of them,
Uh-huh.
which was just learning.
And did that dissuade you, or did that motivate you to continue to try to do that, or you just
I think it motivated me more.
motivated you more? And so where did you go from there?
Just back to the range.
Back to the range?
Yeah.
Well, you
To work on what I thought were weaknesses and go from there.
how are you supporting yourself?
At that time, I was actually pretty lucky because my brother worked for Air Canada,
Okay, that helps.
so I could fly for relatively cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a friend who had a connection with hotels who would get me rooms for fairly cheap.
That's good.
So I'd room with people, and it was pretty inexpensive. To be honest with you. Yeah.
Were your ultimate aspirations was obviously with Matt, Matt being one of your best friends, and he talks about his, he turns the qualifying week when he goes and tries to into a little bit mini vacation kind of thing, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And he focuses largely on teaching. We had a really good discussion about teaching, but ultimately, do you still play competitively?
I tried to.
You tried.
Time now is more difficult than it was.
Yeah. Well, when you got a family and
I got a full-time job, which is keeps me very busy in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
So I played 2 tournaments last year.
Okay. So you play a couple of events or a couple of years on the Canadian tour, and then you continue to practice. Then where do you go? What happens after that?
So after 2003, I was kind of, what do I do next?
Uh-huh.
So I went down the desert and just kind of practiced, worked my game, and then came back up in March, and I didn't know what I was going to do. So then a friend of mine was actually working at Capilano, and he was a backshot manager. And he says, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I have no idea." He says, "Why don't you come just work at Capilano for a summer and see how, go from there and see what you want to do." So I'm like, all right. So I went up and talked with Jerry Chatelaine, and I was the head pro there for 25 4 years, 25 years, something like that. And he said, sure, I'll hire you. So I started there in the back shop, 2004.
What were you doing in the back shop? Just whatever.
Everything.
Every little bit of everything.
Getting bags, driving range, a bit of everything.
But also getting practice time in too,
yeah.
I would imagine.
Yes.
Beating balls.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that was part of it. I could, kind of play, practice.
Mm-hmm. And so did you still have that desire that were you still thinking like that? What I'm getting to, Mike, is there's always a point where you go like, I can talk in specific reference to my own personal journey with hockey. Mm-hmm. When you're this size, the size that I am now in grade 6, you get a lot of eyeballs. Grade 7. And then when they start to realize, or you start to realize that you're not going to be 6'2" or 6'3" or 6'4", things start, the playing field starts to kind of, disintegrate right in front of you. And that decision was made quite like for myself, it was probably about 14, 15 years old. Realizing I went to Ontario and in the OHL for a little bit and went, you know what, this isn't, I'm not, this is not going to happen for me. I better have a plan B here. For you, when did you start to think, okay, I have to make a decision. I can either commit further, like really, really push hard, because ultimately golf is a game. If you want to get, you have to have the natural ability. There's no question about that. But if you want to get really, 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 really good, you gotta practice.
Oh, for sure.
You've got to practice. And if you don't, you're not gonna. When we watch on TV and you see somebody, 6 guys hole out on a chip. Okay, well, how long? You've probably done that 100 times. But you did it in a tournament kind of thing, and that's just plain and simple practicing. Obviously natural talent, but when was it the time where you said, you know what, I'm going to, I want to be involved. I want golf to be a career, but it's not going to be playing professional golf for a living.
For me, it was in 2003, and I don't remember what tournament it was at, and David Hearn, who played PGA Tour, he doesn't know me. He knew the name. He was kind of fresh out on the Canadian Tour.
Okay.
And I was kind of warming up beside him. And I got kind of struck watching him hit rather than warm up. I was watching him hit balls. And I was thinking to myself, there's no way I can beat this guy.
He's too pure.
Right? He hit it pure. Uh-huh. And after that, I was like, well, maybe that's it. Uh-huh. So I came home and took the job at Capilano, and I said, well, I can still play around here. Yeah. There's still, the PGA of BC has tournaments I can play. I can still make a little money doing that while also having a full-time job, which is kind of the route I went.
Yeah. And how long have you been at Capilano for?
22 years.
22 years. Wow. See, I didn't realize that. And you're a Richmond boy.
Yes.
When you were growing up, had you played Capilano?
I played a couple of times.
Okay.
Yeah. I did a junior event there, and then I played Scratch League there.
Uh-huh. So you stuck it out there, started in the back shop, worked your way. Now you're the head professional there.
Yes.
Correct? And let's walk through the last 22 years of being at Capilano. And you're laughing when I ask you this question, because there's got to be some funny stories here. So you worked from the back shop.
Yep.
When did they let you
the next year, because I was already a pro.
Yeah.
But Jerry, when I went there, said, I don't have room in the shop for you, but I will next year. So I said, sure. Mm-hmm. So the next year I was in the shop, and it was a little eye-opening at first, because, as a junior member somewhere, you don't realize everything goes on in operation, right? You just show up and golf, right? There's a whole lot more to it than that. So that was a little eye-opening.
Dealing with members?
Dealing with members, the members are great.
Uh-huh.
They really are. There's a lot of interesting people, and I've been very fortunate that I've formed a lot of friendships with a lot of people there, which has been great. Yeah.
So you take on the and then obviously you got there's this business side of the game,
Yes.
of the golf course too,
Yep.
which I would imagine you're beginning to learn as you're progressing.
Yes.
Walk us through that. Like were you while you were working in the front shop, and were you allowed to, like, you're still banging balls, I would imagine.
Yes.
You're still hitting balls. They had a teaching pros up
Yep.
there.
Yes. Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
And when were you allowed, or did you ever step into that role?
I started teaching in 2005.
2005.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you, when you make the transition from from playing, then you're working, and then you make that transition to teaching, it's a different mindset when you have, like, when you're teaching somebody something as opposed to playing it yourself, because golf is such a nuanced game that that's why I don't like golfing with people that are asking me what they're doing wrong. I don't.
Yes. So I taught a lot from 2005 till about 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And anytime I played with, whether it be a member I taught or anybody else, I never offered advice on the golf course. I would never say anything unless they asked me to. That was kind of one of the things I never did.
And with your teaching, did you have a mentor that you were following on the teaching end, or were you just bringing your own style to the?
I worked with a guy in California. His name's Chris Walkie. He's a very, very good instructor. He taught me a lot when I worked with him. So a lot of what he kind of taught me, I kind of took to my lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So
were you, and your student, the base of the students that you began with and then you evolved into, were they young, old, all over, juniors, or were
all
you
over?
focusing?
All over. I had 12-year-old kids to 80-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And throughout your tenure teaching, were there any mind-blowing players that came up through that you were just, or players that you saw, well, you've got some potential, kid, or if you do this, and this, and sometimes they don't always do this, and this, but did you have some players come through?
Yes. So I had two juniors that I taught end up playing Millennium Cup in
Mm-hmm.
BC, which was a really big accomplishment for amateur golfers, for sure. Others went on to play college golf too. So it's really cool for me to see, any student that works hard to see results,
Mm-hmm.
just to see, their reaction of, they get the aha moment and they figure it out. I said, oh, that's what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, and I like trying to put the puzzle pieces together to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I find challenging, is how do I look at this and how do I fix this? And how do I get my message across to them in a way they understand it? So I could say the same thing 6 different ways, and in one of those ways, they'll get,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm. And each person, you got to get, like, there's personalities involved too, right?
Oh,
and
for
the more that you become, and it's not like you have to be friends with every student, but you have to have a friendly demeanor with them in order to understand where they're coming from and how they think. I say this about any kind of education. Our education system is set up in a way that we teach in a specific way, and not particularly with an understanding that each student learns in a particular way. So if you don't learn in that particular way, you may be placed over here. And I don't really like that very much, because I was one of those when it specifically came to, math,
Yep.
in grade 11 and grade 12, and it turned me off of math. And it's not because I was dumb. It's just that I didn't understand it the way that it was being taught. Now, if you taught it like if somebody else taught it to me in a different way, oh, okay, now I get it. And you were alluding to that golf, when you're teaching that, it's a lot like that.
Well, I think you have to adapt to what students are capable of doing too, right? If you just have kind of one method and that's all you teach, if someone can't do that, well,
You're screwed.
you're screwed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're going to find somebody else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of being an instructor. A good instructor anyhow is you have to be adaptable to what your students are capable of.
When you're teaching, did you have students that you would go and play tournament golf, like that you would actually go along with them playing tournaments?
I had one. He played the one who played William Cup, and I went with him to the K&M as well.
What do you think the biggest issue now when we start talking about golf, and we kind of alluded to at the beginning before we went live, and we were talking, like I was talking about, you said your father took you to the golf course when you were whatever 5 years old or 7 years old. That's a luxury.
Oh, for sure.
And we talk about accessibility and kids having the opportunity, young people having the opportunity to go out and not only learn the game, but play the game. And along with that comes, the decorum of the game, the rules of the game. Because there are a lot of nuanced things in the game of golf that I say this, and I keep on repeating it, is that I don't think everybody understands the nuanced rules or I don't want to call it diplomacy, but the proper manners in the game of golf.
Yeah, the etiquette is huge.
The etiquette is just and I'm interested in part of when you instruct in those 20 odd years that you were instructing, and that you would obviously have to spend time with a player teaching them that you don't do that.
Yes.
You don't take the pin out and chuck it on the green. You repair a ball mark. You yell for.
Yes.
You don't hit when they're still within range. You're cognizant of your situation where you are. And because the game has changed immensely.
Oh, for sure.
Like it really has. And I'm one of those guys that's not sad to see live golf go away. I'm not.
I'm indifferent at this.
Yeah, it's not like I ever watched it, but whenever I did watch the highlights, music was blaring, and I was like, how in the hell are you hitting the ball off the first tee with the music's blaring in the background? And, what is it, a nightclub? But that's just me.
Yeah.
And I'm still a guy, whoever invented those little speakers that you can put on I don't like that. Okay. And if you want to listen to your music, listen to your music, but just so you can hear it.
Yes.
I don't need to hear it, kind of thing. But do you feel that Mike, there's a lack of etiquette in the game now?
I think there's less, for sure. I think, when I grew up, it was like, I don't want to screw up. I don't want to get in trouble. Where I think now it's, I don't know if it's just the generation or the kids now just, don't care. If I get in trouble, I get in trouble.
Yeah.
I'll still be able to come back tomorrow.
Yeah. And you also, the thing, I got a rangefinder. Okay, I do. But you have to be cognizant when you're playing a golf course. You have to know your yardages. You had to know.
Oh, for sure.
Where the 150 tree was, where, the sprinkler heads. You're always looking for sprinkler heads all the time. And I don't know, maybe I look at those old days, it's not like I'm looking at a rotary phone, but you were more into it because you had to be into it if you wanted to play well. You had to be attentive and paying attention. Whereas now, you just pull out your rangefinder, and sometimes some of them have slope on it and everything, and you can adjust for that. And a lot of times it's just like, you walking up and you're looking at the yardage and you're looking at the flag, you look up at the trees, you throw some grass up and you go, okay, I know how far I got to hit this ball.
Well, PGA Tour still does it.
Yeah. They still do.
Right? They still do the math every shot.
Yeah. So but the etiquette part of it and the repercussion, I don't know how that's handled. Like, I know at a private golf course, there's ways to handle that. At public golf courses, I'm a proponent of, when you walk into any golf course, there's about 10 questions or 5 questions you should just have to tick off the box. If you find somebody's golf club on the course, what do?
Yeah.
You don't keep it.
No. Well, that happens all the time. People put it in their bag and forget it's there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I can say this. I've played in the last couple of years where some people don't even pick up a golf club. Like, I'll be up on the tee and going, "Is this anybody's club?" No. So you didn't think it was maybe necessary to pick it up, and you could, because that guy might be looking for it. And I pick it up, and sure as shit, I'm halfway down the fairway. The guy comes back looking for his pitching wedge.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's etiquette.
For sure.
Right. And I didn't think you needed to be taught that, but apparently you do.
And do you think that stems from the more people getting into golf that weren't from COVID? But they don't know the etiquette. They didn't grow up.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. But you could say the same thing, though. I guess maybe. But there was people that were learning to drive, too, when COVID was happening, too, right? Maybe that's that's another discussion. But there is etiquette, manners, and I'm not like a stodgy kind of guy, like, whatever floats your boat. But it's something. Golf is still a game that you can play, and you can go, for a 4.5 hour walk with somebody you've never met.
Yep. And
enjoy it.
Absolutely.
You'd never do that with anything else. Wouldn't walk down the beach with another person that you've never met.
No.
For 4.5 hours, would you? No. So that's why it's unique. It is unique. But COVID probably did play a role in it. But I also don't think that there's enough. I don't want to call it policing out on the golf course, but marshals out there, making sure that everybody is and golf, certainly here, like, it's, finding a tee time in the Lower Mainland is next to impossible. Speaking of which, at Capilano with your private members, how do you disseminate the tee times? Is there
We have a lottery.
You have a lottery?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and how many members does Capilano have?
All in roughly 1,200.
1,200. Wow.
But 900 playing.
Uh-huh. Do you have a healthy junior program?
We do, yeah. It's grown the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of did a big push the last couple of years, so it's actually grown a lot.
Mm-hmm. And like, how many? I'm asking simple questions. There might be some stupid questions. I could have probably done my own research, but it's easier to ask the question directly. How many teaching pros do you have up there?
5.
5.
Yeah.
And have you seen? The other question I'll ask is: have you seen any growth in women's golf?
Yes.
And more women coming out.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Definitely. Yeah.
And what do you attribute that to?
I think more and more, spouses are playing, and I think I don't know if it's, if you're always going to be there, I want to be there too.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if your friend starts playing golf, well, guess what? You should come join me. It's fun,
Mm-hmm.
right? It doesn't matter if you're good or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can learn and go from there. But we've had quite a few more women start.
I know, speaking personally from my own perspective, we live out in White Rock, South Surrey, and I do a lot of my golfing is across the line, and I tend to golf as a single. Not, maybe it's because I have no friends, but it is actually, I enjoy going as a single better, and you meet people.
Yeah,
it's cool. And and I'll admit, my wife will probably think I'm misogynist when I say this, but there was a time when if you did that like 15 or 20 years ago and you were matched up with a woman, Jesus, and I admit that, not now,
Oh.
not now, because the women that I've been matched up with can play. It's not like a hindrance. It's not like, oh, Jesus, she's hitting it straight right, straight left. But it's getting over that hurdle, I think it's probably for a junior golfer, for any kind of golfer, getting introduced to the sport. How do you introduce somebody to the sport? You were fortunate. I was fortunate. But how do you introduce a young kid? Matt Paulsenberg's got Backyard Golf.
Yeah.
And he does a phenomenal thing with the little guys, little girls, being able to come out for like $99. We'll give you the clubs, try it out. We are at that stage though where if golf wants to continue growing, we have to allow there has to be more accessibility for young players to play. And I don't know. I know, like, trying to find a tee time in the Lower Mainland is, it's difficult, and the expense. It's not cheap either. Like a place like Morgan Creek is ridiculous, but they charge it because they can, and people will pay, right? But do you think that we're at a point though with the game? Like the game has COVID helped it a lot. But it's changed so dramatically. And me doing this podcast, starting doing this, is given me more of an appreciation for the talent of golf that's here in the Lower Mainland. It really has. And I'm going to tell this, I'll tell this, I'll be the first to break this. Chris Crisologo made it to the second round of the US Open qualifying. What are we talking? He called me on Friday at noon. He phoned me from Oregon.
Nice. And
he sunk a 150-yard shot to make it.
You're good.
It was 2 for 5. 2 for 5. 5 guys teed off in a playoff. And the first hole, the first guy birdied, so he was in. All the other 4 parred. And he hit his into the drop area. And he got a free drop, but he sunk a 150-yard wedge.
Wow.
Yeah. And so he was pretty excited.
Absolutely.
Oh, good for him. But you see the game, I wouldn't know Chris as well as but I've talked to him a lot and he's been on a few times. And there's a lot of players out there like that are trying, they're working really hard. And he's one of them. He's been grinding. He doesn't have a status on the Tour America, PGA Tour Americas. And he's down there qualifying. If he could make it to the US Open, wouldn't that be fantastic?
That'd be unbelievable.
Hey?
Well, I mean, and it's, three guys from BC qualified after first day for US Senior.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So there's tons of talent here. And I don't, like I say this, and that's one of the reasons that I do this podcast is because I want to celebrate that. I want people to, to hear more about it. And there's a lot of really, really great golfers. And the thing about golf too is that 99% of the time, the people that are in the golf, they're good people too.
Yep.
Right.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like they're good people. They're characters, like Matt certainly is. He's fun. We had fun. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
And everyone has, we have not had anybody sit in that chair. It's been bad. It's all been good. And it's a real tight community. But it's exciting to be part of. And one person's success is everyone's success.
Absolutely. You look at, like, we have our G&G tour.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at the talent on there now. I mean, any given day, there's probably 15 people that could win.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I would say when I first started playing in 2004, maybe like 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's just the caliber's come.
Yeah.
It's grown. It's gotten up.
Yeah. I mean, it could be 20, 25 guys now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
They have game.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing is that I think golf is in the low, I'll say the lower mainland, BC golf is on a trajectory. It is. We had Maxim McKenzie from Ledgeview on, 17-year-old, great kid. Like, and he, like, the guy's a +6.
Yeah, I don't know him. I know his dad.
Yeah, Luke is just really, really salt of the earth guy. Like, just a really great guy. But that kid can play. I want to go. I have to go out to Ledgeview now and get my ass kicked. But you know, the thing. And the other question I'll ask you: what do you think about sim golf? You done it? You must have tried it.
Once or twice. That's it. For me, in a social setting, for sure. But to go actually go and work on my game or something, I don't know if it's for me. But I know lots of people do, and it's, you know, getting with access to the golf course. If you can't get on a golf course and you can go play sim golf somewhere with some friends, why not?
Yeah.
Right.
It
is growing for sure.
It is growing. It is growing. And one of the things that it, like, for a guy like I'm a touch guy, like, feel really, and like, I'm brutal around the greens with that sim. Like, I'm brutal around the greens in real life. Never mind, I don't need sim golf to exacerbate the problems that I have around the green. But it's really hard to, you know, I have a hard time, like, the short game. Like, if you can hit the ball tight within 10 feet, it's a one putt. Put it on the one putt. It's a one putt. But if you're up on the apron and you're playing a golf course with, you know, 14 on the stimp, and you, like, it's just like trying to get your touch hitting into a screen is really hard.
Yeah, me personally, I'd rather be outside.
Yeah, I would be too. But when it's raining, and we've done it on social, social night, gets a bottle of wine.
Yeah,
gets a bottle of wine, and I hit balls. You know, I go get to play Pebble Beach.
Yeah,
you know, that's fun. It is fun. And House of Golf is where we usually go to out in Langley, and they're great. Jared Siminoff, fantastic, really nice little operation there. And they're popping up everywhere.
Yes.
People have putting them in their own garages. You know,
well, a lot more indoor teaching studios now too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Where, you know, back in the day, like, I only knew of like one or two.
Do you guys have an indoor up at Capilano?
We have a studio that you can hit out of.
Okay.
We don't have an indoor.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And there's so much, and the other thing too with sim golf, and when you're using the TrackMan or whichever, whatever you're using, there's so much information, so much data. I don't even know what that means. You know, you know what I mean? Like,
most people don't.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's why if you have a coach or a teacher, they're supposed to know what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like when I teach and students say, "What are all those numbers?" I said, "Don't worry about it. Those aren't for you. They're for you."
So what's the craziest thing, the funniest thing that you've ever in your golf career that you've been part of or you've seen? Could be tournament play, anything, because there's some crazy things that happen on a golf course, not purposely. Most of the time, they just happen. What's the craziest thing that you've seen? Then let's start with your playing career. When you're playing,
well, I've seen a couple guys actually take a shot and take a full swing of their bag right after and
whack the bag,
break 5 or 6 clubs, right? Because then you're kind of like, now what do I do?
And that's like on the third hole.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's your problem, not mine.
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
Playing wise, I don't know if I've had any really crazy things happen.
Okay, what about just on the golf course? You ever been chased by a bear?
We had a bear in the clubhouse.
In the clubhouse?
Yeah. The door was left open.
The door was left open?
Yes.
And so how did that end?
It ate some peanuts and M&Ms and then left. And it was funny because, a friend of mine from Ottawa sent me this video. And he's like, "Have you seen this?" So I opened it up and look at it. He goes, "This is crazy." I said, "Yes, this is here." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "That's at the club.
Right now.
Right now. Just happened." Yeah. It shows you how fast social media spreads.
Yes.
right?
Oh yeah, it can happen. It's
Once it's on, it's on.
It's on.
Right.
It's on. And this year, I'm waiting for the the obligatory fight on the golf course. We haven't seen one of those go viral for a year at least now, which are this is
unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. It's first of all, to get to that level, you have to be pretty heated up. Well, now, you played hockey. You still play hockey. I played hockey. I've never been that heated.
No.
Or I wanted to fight on the golf course.
No.
And if you do get that heated, maybe you shouldn't be playing golf.
But it goes back to, again, starting with etiquette,
mm-hmm.
right? If you grew up playing with etiquette, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You're just, it just seems like every year we have one or two of those. And I know it's not just my imagination. The majority of them happen to be in Western Canada.
Yes. Yeah. I think a couple of them last year were in both the same golf course, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get that. I don't understand that.
Well, what I understand is, at my age, I could not imagine going to a golf course and thinking, okay, we're going to start a fight with the guys in front of us. Like, honestly, right? Like, if it goes online and then all of a sudden my 11-year-old daughter says, Dad, what were you doing? Yeah. Right?
Well, he hit into me.
Yeah, I could not imagine.
Yeah, you have to explain that.
Yeah,
it's bizarre. It's bizarre behavior. But when I'll ask you these, I got some other questions here that I wanted to. When you were teaching, you implied that you did have a mentor down south that you but are you a teacher or a golfer? Is your style more based on the mechanics, or are you like a feel? Like, how do you approach the game of golf, and the way you approach it, how does that affect your teaching when you teach it?
I was definitely more a field player,
mm-hmm.
for sure. I think later on in my career, I started working more mechanics. But growing up, I just mostly played by feel.
Mm-hmm.
Teaching wise, I think I used a bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely some technical aspects for sure, but in my opinion, that if the student can't actually feel what they're trying to do, doesn't matter how technically you get, they're never going to get it,
mm-hmm.
right? So there has to be some feel aspects to it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And nowadays, the players that you see, obviously you're at a private club, but you must see players that improve, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
They improve. And what's the one thing that they like? I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask the question. Those that improve, what's the one thing that people, amateurs, tend to forget about improving? If you want to improve, what do you need to do?
Well, work ethic for sure.
Yeah.
Confidence is huge too.
Mm-hmm.
I think confidence is even bigger. Like if you're not confident you can do it, guess what? It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And the confidence, but you have to be committed to practicing.
Yeah, and that comes work ethic, right?
That's work ethic. And
as a teacher, if you have a lesson with like someone every week, like I know if you haven't practiced, I can tell, right? And also know the ones that do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's ultimately, like I always say, like teachers can give you all the information, to get you better to a better place in your game. But if you don't work at it, you're not going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You have to put the effort in.
Yeah. And something that I've always lacked is the practice end of things. Just love to play, love to play. Hate practicing, get bored. But what is the current, your junior program up at Capilano, the current roster? Have you got some talented players that are coming up? And
we got some younger kids that are pretty talented.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. Got some kind of, 12, 13, 15-year-olds that are, out there playing tournaments and, doing quite well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see how they turn out because, they're all really, really nice kids and they all work really hard.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and we're just in the spring season now, so we'll start playing some tournament golf.
I think they've already started.
They already started?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is, I guess you're obligated. We went down, so there's not the bear in the clubhouse, but aside from that, there's got to be something.
Well, we had a movie star come and play years and years ago, and he wasn't dressed appropriately. So he had cargo shorts on, which are not allowed at the club. So when he showed up, everyone at the pro shop said, well, who's going to tell him he can't wear those shorts? I said, well, I will. So I went out and I said, excuse me, sir, but, you can't wear those shorts here. So what am I supposed to do? So you can buy a pair in the shop and, then you can go play. So he comes in, buys the shorts. That's we're walking out. And he goes, oh, where the hell am I going to wear these ever again? And I said, well, come back here. You can wear them again. He wasn't impressed. He was not impressed.
That's etiquette.
100%. It's, it's the rules, right? We have dress code. And if you want to come play, you have to follow it. It doesn't matter who you are.
That's right. If you have a dress code, you have a dress code.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. Ranking, where have you played? Where it's, I'll say like the world is kind of your oyster here. Where have you played that you've really, really loved? Aside from the desert, you can say that's an automatic right there. You're going to say the desert.
I've been pretty fortunate. I've actually been very fortunate. I've played Cypress Point with San Francisco Golf Club. I've played Royal County Down, Royal Portrush, Royal Liverpool, Royal Birkdale. I don't know if you've heard of St. Patrick's Links.
No.
It's a newer course in Ireland that they say will probably be a number one course in Ireland in the next couple of years.
And you played there?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Yes. Where else have I played? Whistling Straits, Pinehurst, the National. I've been pretty fortunate.
Yeah, it sounds like that's quite a resume of courses that you played.
Pebble Beach.
Pebble Beach?
Yeah.
Not me. On the sim.
Yeah, but there's so many now, right? There's still, tons of courses that I'd love to play.
Yeah, there's tons of golf courses. There's no, except here.
That's just it.
Seem to have enough.
You talk to the pros in Toronto and, they have so many golf courses. They're like, well, we're not that busy. I said, well, we are because we're limited.
Yeah,
right?
We're limited with the real estate that we have. And it's because of the limited nature of the amount of golf courses, the green fees are up, and it makes it tougher and tougher to, accessibility once again. And golf has never been a poor man's sport either.
No,
right?
No.
You have to have some sort of financial support to play the game. But what do we talked a little bit about this. The Live Tour is currently
faltering,
to say the least. And there was an open door. Like now the PGA's, the top 100 is like, man, like to crack that it's pretty. That's like AJ Ewert was like, he won qualifying school and he doesn't get into the signature events, but that's a big deal. Like to do that, that's a huge deal. It's even huger deal to win, right? But it's so at the top end of the game, it's so tight. And this with Live shutting down, where I'm getting to with this is that there has to be a tour below the PGA Tour. I know they got the Corn Ferry, but we never see Corn Ferry events here. We don't. I'm making a pitch here for more tours stops to be here, so I can go watch.
Yeah,
I can go out and watch the Vancouver golf tour. Like
Yeah.
I can do that. But I just, you know, it was fun when they had the Fortinet out at Morgan Creek. Went out and watched that. We have enough interest in golf. We have enough golf courses, but we can't, you know, went to Shaughnessy, watched the women play when they were last time they were out. That's enjoyable.
Yep.
You know, it's enjoyable to go out and watch professional golf. And why can't we have maybe with the Live Tour, maybe going away, maybe that Tour Americas, or maybe a rung below that, another tour will start and sort of maybe revamp the Canadian tour, or in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, possibly. And there's enough talent out there now for sure to do it. I wonder if it's more about golf courses giving access, though.
You could be right.
Right?
Because you're losing money.
You're giving away a week.
Yeah, you're giving away a week.
Right.
And these guys don't need to.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe that's probably the issue. Because I know I loved when the Air Canada Championship was.
Oh yeah, I used to go.
Oh,
yeah.
It was lovely.
Yeah,
it was lovely to watch. Lovely to go to driving range and watch guys that are unbelievable hit the ball.
Oh, that's
the best part of it.
That's my favorite part of it.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic.
Yes.
It's fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about your hockey. You still play hockey, and I read you do some charity work too.
Yeah.
What do you do with the hockey team and the hockey and the charity?
We do. So we have a couple fundraisers we do every year. Actually, this one's coming up on Thursday. We do a reverse draw, and we raise money for kids who can't afford to play hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And we also donate to kids sport in Ladner, Tawasin.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something like, so Cowboys hockey's been going on since the 70s.
What is that? What do you say?
It's just our team.
It's your team.
It was, so when I started, we were actually Cowboys 2. So two brothers and myself and a couple other guys started the Cowboys 2, because their dad played in the original Cowboys.
Uh-huh.
And so they actually had 2 teams where they actually played on both teams.
Okay.
So, and then I ended up playing on both teams. So now there's actually 3 teams.
There's 3 Cowboy teams.
Yes. So there's an over 65 and over 50, and then the over 30 team.
Okay.
So.
And do you guys play in what league do you play?
We play in the RAHL for the Richmond Industrial League.
Okay.
So it's, and this year we brought in 2 new teams they're under 30, and we learned quickly that they're a lot faster than they were 30 guys. Mm-hmm. But it's still fun. It's still really competitive and good hockey, and it's.
And do you play all through the summer? Or?
No,
I'm
too busy in the summertime.
Too busy in the summertime.
Yeah.
And during the winter months, you're playing what, once a week, twice a week?
Yeah, Tuesday nights.
Where at? Richmond?
Richmond Center.
Nice center. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, it's been a pleasure having you on here. I'm glad that you took out the afternoon and were able to carve some time out and spend it with us here. Shout out to Capilano Golf and Country Club. Is it Golf and Country Club?
Club. Yeah.
Golf and Country Club. I have played there once.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. It's a very nice golf course.
It is very nice.
A very nice golf course. You can just look them up online, right? You've got your website. You've got, if you want to reach out directly to Mike, are you an Instagrammy? Probably not.
I am.
Oh, yeah?
I am.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
Right on.
Yeah.
Not TikTok, though.
No. Not TikTok.
Not TikTok.
No X. No, just the simple
just
stuff.
Instagram. Just Instagram. Well, Mike, in closing, I'd like to thank you very much for coming out. It's been a real pleasure sitting down and having a chat with you about golf. I'd like to thank our sponsor, riversidegolf.ca, Ken Poirier, once again down in South Surrey. Check them out online. Without them, this podcast would not be possible. And I would encourage everyone to subscribe or to watch us on Spotify, YouTube, wherever we are. Mike, thank you so much for taking the Sunday and the time. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks very much for having me.
Thank you.